Urgent, Luka Doncic talks about selling the Lakers. Stay until the end to find out everything. But before starting the video, leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything about the Lakers. Luka Doncic, the star point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers, has openly expressed his excitement and optimism about the team's future following a historic ownership change. On Thursday, the NBA superstar shared an enthusiastic statement regarding the recent sale of the Lakers to billionaire businessman Mark Walter, who is also the controlling owner of Major League Baseball's Los Angeles Dodgers. Luka also expressed gratitude for Jeanie Buss, the previous owner, who will remain involved in the franchise's leadership moving forward. The Lakers are a phenomenal organization with a legacy like no other, Doncic remarked during an interview. I'm really looking forward to meeting Mark Walter, and I'm thrilled about what the future holds. I'm also deeply thankful to Jeanie Buss and the Buss family for welcoming me to Los Angeles. I'm glad that Jeanie will continue to be part of this journey. I can't wait to work closely with both Mark and Jeanie to bring more championships to this franchise. This landmark acquisition, valued at an astronomical $10 billion, marks the largest transaction ever for a professional sports team. The sale not only reshapes the business landscape of the NBA but also signals the start of a new chapter for one of basketball's most storied franchises. According to ESPN's senior reporter Ramona Shelburne, Jeanie Buss, who has served as the team's president and the public face of the organization for years, will retain her executive position for an unspecified period as the Lakers transition under their new ownership. Interestingly, Luka Doncic was not a mere bystander in this massive transition. The five-time NBA All-Star had a minor, yet significant role in the ownership shift. Sources close to the negotiations revealed that Doncic was among a select group of key players who were privately informed about the pending sale before it was made public. His involvement, albeit limited, symbolizes how crucial he has become to the Lakers' future both on and off the court. The news of the sale reverberated not just within the Lakers organization but across the NBA. Numerous influential figures voiced their support for the change. The Athletic reported that LeBron James, one of the most iconic athletes in the league and a central figure for the Lakers over the past seasons, feels comfortable with Mark Walter taking over the reins. LeBron's endorsement adds significant weight, given his stature both within the team and the league. Equally important was the reaction from Magic Johnson, one of the greatest players in Lakers history. Magic, known for his enduring passion for the purple and gold, praised the move, stating, "Mark Walter will be an exceptional steward of the Lakers' legacy. His commitment to winning and preserving the brand's integrity is exactly what this franchise needs." This transition comes at a pivotal time for the Lakers. The team has been navigating both on-court challenges and off-court uncertainties over the past few seasons. With the arrival of Luka Doncic, expectations have skyrocketed. Fans, analysts, and insiders all agree that Luka isn't just a superstar addition. He's the new face of the Lakers franchise. Luka's journey to Los Angeles was nothing short of dramatic. Acquired in a blockbuster trade from the Dallas Mavericks, a deal that also involved sending star center Anthony Davis to Dallas, Doncic's arrival marked a seismic shift in the NBA landscape. The Lakers were betting on the 26-year-old Slovenian phenom to lead them into a new era of success. In his first partial season donning the purple and gold, Luka delivered outstanding performances. Averaging 28.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 7.5 assists over 28 games, he quickly became the heartbeat of the team. His combination of court vision, scoring prowess, and leadership has reignited hopes of another championship run. As the offseason approaches, all eyes are on August, when Doncic becomes eligible for a contract extension. Sources around the league suggest that both sides are motivated to secure a long-term deal that would keep Luka in Los Angeles for many years to come. The anticipation is palpable, with Lakers fans dreaming of a future built around their new superstar. The alignment of a new ownership structure with a generational talent like Luka Doncic signals a fresh start. The Lakers are not just transitioning to new leadership, they are redefining their ambitions for the next decade. The sale of the Los Angeles Lakers to Mark Walter didn't just make headlines, it sent shockwaves throughout the sports world. Known primarily as the controlling owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Walter is a titan in the business world, respected for his sharp acumen, commitment to excellence, and passion for building winning teams. His venture into the NBA with the Lakers is more than a business transaction. It's a move that could reshape the franchise for generations. For Luka Doncic, this transition represents more than just a shift in ownership. It's an opportunity to be at the center of a historic transformation. In conversations with close associates, Luka has described this period as a turning point for the Lakers. The Slovenian star recognizes that aligning his prime years with a stable and visionary ownership could lead to the kind of legacy players only dream of. "I believe in what Mark stands for," Luka explained in a recent media appearance. His track record with the Dodgers speaks for itself. He knows how to create a culture of winning, of sustainability, and of community. "I'm excited to see how that philosophy translates to the Lakers." Indeed, Walter's tenure with the Dodgers has been defined by consistent success, financial stability, and a renewed focus on player development. Lakers fans are hopeful that similar principles will be applied to their beloved basketball team. His approach is collaborative yet ambitious, favoring long-term planning over quick fixes, a refreshing strategy in a league often dominated by short-term thinking. As the news of the acquisition spread, reactions poured in from all corners of the NBA. Coaches, former players, and analysts discussed what this move could mean for the league's balance of power. Some believe that Walter's influence, combined with the star power of Luka Doncic, could signal the beginning of a new Lakers dynasty. The presence of Jeanie Buss in the front office offers a sense of continuity amid the change. Jeanie has been a central figure in the Lakers' modern history, guiding the team through both triumphs and challenges. Her decision to remain involved in the franchise ensures that the Lakers' deep cultural roots are preserved, even as new leadership takes charge. "She's the heart of the Lakers," Luka commented when asked about Jeanie's ongoing role. "Having her continue as part of this team is crucial. She understands the history, the expectations, and the fans. That balance between honoring the past and embracing the future is what will make us stronger." Behind the scenes, sources revealed that the transition was handled with extraordinary care. Players like Luka Doncic, who are key pillars of the team's future, were discreetly informed about the negotiations weeks before the public announcement. The organization made it a priority to ensure that its cornerstone athletes felt secure, respected, and part of the process. For Doncic, being included in such discussions reinforced his importance to the franchise. It's a testament not only to his value on the court but also to his emerging role as a leader off it. Observers within the Lakers organization note that Luka has already started to take on more responsibilities, mentoring younger players, engaging in conversations with management, and offering input on the team's direction. LeBron James, who has been both a teammate and mentor to Luka since his arrival in Los Angeles, reportedly expressed his full support for the transition. "LeBron's presence has been invaluable," Luka said. "He's someone who knows what it takes to build a legacy, and having his guidance through this change has meant a lot." LeBron, now entering the twilight years of his storied career, appears to be fully endorsing the idea of passing the torch to Doncic. Insiders suggest that while LeBron remains committed to competing at the highest level, he also recognizes the importance of setting the Lakers up for success long after he retires. Meanwhile, Magic Johnson's voice continues to resonate. Speaking on national television, Magic lauded the move, calling Walter an ideal owner for the Lakers' next chapter. "This is someone who gets it," Magic said. "He understands that being a Laker isn't just about basketball. It's about community, excellence, and living up to a standard that's bigger than any one person." As these monumental changes unfold, one thing is clear. Luka Doncic is no longer just the Lakers' brightest star. He's becoming the face of the franchise, a symbol of its future, and a key figure in the team's evolution. The stakes are high, but so is the belief, within the front office, the locker room, and the fan base, that this new era could be one of the most successful in Lakers history. The story of how Luka Doncic and Mark Walter reshaped the Lakers is just beginning. Ahead lies a journey filled with challenges, expectations, and, potentially, greatness. As the dust from the historic sale settled, the real work began behind the scenes. Mark Walter's entry as the principal owner of the Los Angeles Lakers wasn't merely symbolic. It marked the start of a sweeping re-evaluation of the franchise's direction. The Lakers, long known for their glamorous image and high-profile stars, were now focused on building something more sustainable, more modern, and perhaps more powerful than ever before. Luka Doncic found himself at the center of it all. While his arrival in Los Angeles was already seismic, the timing of the ownership change amplified his role. No longer just the team's top scorer or playmaker, Luka had become an unofficial ambassador for the future of the Lakers. His presence in meetings with executives and even ownership groups signaled a shift in how the franchise valued its stars, not just as athletes, but as partners in shaping the organization's identity. When you play for a franchise like this, you carry more than a jersey, Luka told reporters during a press event. You carry expectations, history, and the hopes of millions. And now, with Mark's vision, we have a chance to build something that respects that history while preparing for the future. Walter wasted no time assembling an elite team of advisors, blending seasoned basketball minds with innovative thinkers from outside the sports world. Financial analysts, data scientists, and culture strategists joined forces with basketball executives to map out a plan not just for next season, but for the next decade. Inside the Lakers' practice facility, change was already visible. Training programs were being revamped with a focus on injury prevention and longevity. Advanced analytics departments expanded, offering coaches real-time insights into player performance, fatigue levels, and matchup advantages. It was a fusion of old-school basketball fundamentals and cutting-edge technology. For Doncic, this was more than just organizational housekeeping, it was the realization of a vision he'd always dreamed of being part of. "I've always admired teams that built dynasties not just on talent but on culture," Luka said. "You look at what the Spurs did for 2 decades or how the Warriors built their success. It's not just about signing stars, it's about building systems that allow stars to thrive together." The parallels weren't lost on analysts. Many began drawing comparisons between this new Lakers blueprint and other historically successful franchises. The difference? The Lakers had the advantage of a global brand, a massive market, and now an owner with seemingly limitless resources and an unwavering commitment to winning. Meanwhile, Jeanie Buss continued to serve as a bridge between the Lakers' storied past and its evolving future. Her presence reassured fans who feared that a complete overhaul could mean abandoning the values that made the Lakers special in the first place. "Jeanie's staying on isn't just a formality," one insider noted. "She's deeply involved in making sure that as we innovate, we don't lose sight of what it means to be a Laker. That's important to Mark. That's important to Luka. It's important to everyone." Luka's leadership also began extending into the locker room in ways that went beyond stats. Teammates reported that Doncic was increasingly vocal, leading film sessions, organizing off-season workouts, and fostering a culture of accountability that had sometimes been inconsistent in previous years. "You can feel it," one Lakers player shared anonymously. "When Luka walks in, there's this sense that it's time to work. No shortcuts, no excuses. He holds himself to the highest standard, and that energy is contagious." Of course, not everything was smooth. The transition came with challenges. Rumors of potential trades surfaced, with the front office evaluating every contract, every player fit, and every long-term implication. For the first time in years, the Lakers were openly prioritizing sustainability over splashy moves. That didn't mean they were shying away from ambition. If anything, the new Lakers were more dangerous because they were smarter. The focus was on assembling a roster that complemented Luka Doncic's unique skills. A lineup that could maximize his elite playmaking while addressing the defensive gaps that had plagued the team in recent seasons. In parallel, Mark Walter began exploring investments in player facilities, including a potential new training complex equipped with state-of-the-art technology, recovery centers, and AI-driven performance analysis tools. His vision wasn't just to create the best basketball team, it was to create the best environment for basketball excellence in the world. Luka embraced this vision wholeheartedly. For a player who had already achieved individual accolades, multiple All-Star selections, MVP considerations, and international success, this was the next step, becoming the leader of a franchise destined for greatness. "I didn't come here just to play," Luka said in an interview. "I came here to win. And not just once. We're building something that lasts." As the summer progressed, the energy around the Lakers shifted. Fans sensed it. The media noticed it. And most importantly, the players felt it. What was once a team with flashes of brilliance now carried the look of a focused, disciplined, and dangerous contender. The foundation was being laid. The pieces were coming together. And the era of Luka Doncic and Mark Walter had truly begun. With a new ownership era underway and the Lakers organization entering a period of strategic transformation, expectations surrounding Luka Doncic reached unprecedented heights. No longer was he just a marquee player traded in a blockbuster deal. Now, Luka represented the future, the face of the Lakers franchise for years to come. Fans, media, and basketball insiders all agreed. The success of this new chapter hinged largely on him. Luka was aware of the mounting pressure. But rather than shy away from it, he leaned into the responsibility. During off-season training sessions, he pushed himself harder than ever before. Reports from the Lakers practice facility described Luka arriving early, staying late, and requesting extra time with the coaching staff to review film and fine-tune his game. "I know what's expected of me," Luka said during an exclusive interview with Spectrum Sportsnet. "This is Los Angeles. This is the Lakers. Winning isn't optional here, it's the standard. I've played on big stages before, but this is something different. And I'm ready for it." The front office, meanwhile, was fully committed to surrounding Luka with the right pieces. General Manager Rob Pelinka, working closely with both Mark Walter and Jeanie Buss, made it clear that every roster decision moving forward would be made with Luka's strengths and leadership style in mind. One of the first major steps was revamping the coaching staff. Though head coach Darvin Ham retained his position, several assistant coaches were replaced with specialists known for working with ball-dominant playmakers. The Lakers brought in shooting consultants, defensive coordinators, and even a former European coach familiar with Luka's background to help him adapt further to the team's system. "We're building an ecosystem where Luka can thrive and grow," Pelinka explained during a press conference. "This isn't just about putting 5 guys on the floor and hoping for the best. This is about maximizing every possession, every minute, and every opportunity we have with one of the most gifted players of this generation." Meanwhile, the Lakers fanbase responded with overwhelming support. Luka jerseys became the top seller at the Lakers team store. Social media was flooded with highlight reels of his dazzling passes, step-back threes, and clutch performances from the previous season. Murals of Luka wearing the iconic purple and gold began popping up around Los Angeles, right alongside tributes to legends like Kobe Bryant and Magic Johnson. Still, for all the love and excitement, the demands were clear. Anything less than playoff success would be viewed as a disappointment. Luka wasn't blind to this reality. In fact, he welcomed it. "I think pressure is a privilege," Luka said in a sit-down with ESPN's Malika Andrews. "If people expect greatness from you, it means you've done something right. I want that pressure. I want those expectations." In the locker room, teammates began to rally around him. Veterans like LeBron James continued offering mentorship, helping Luka navigate the media scrutiny and fan expectations that come with being the face of a franchise like the Lakers. Younger players, meanwhile, looked up to him as both a leader and a role model. "Luka holds us accountable, but he also lifts us up," one Lakers rookie commented. "You feel like you're playing for something bigger when he's out there." Behind closed doors, Mark Walter stayed active as well. While he allowed the basketball operations team to handle on-court matters, he held regular strategy sessions with Lakers executives, emphasizing the importance of player health, long-term salary cap flexibility, and fostering a winning culture that extended beyond basketball. Walter also began engaging with the Los Angeles community, attending charity events, visiting local schools, and making it clear that the Lakers weren't just a business asset to him. They were a civic responsibility. "Ownership is about stewardship," Walter said during an event at the Staples Center. "The Lakers belong to this city, to these fans, and to generations of people who have worn purple and gold with pride. My job is to help guide this organization to even greater heights." That message resonated deeply with Luka, who saw in Walter's leadership style something familiar, the same drive for excellence that had propelled him to global stardom. Together, player and owner represented two powerful forces of change, one on the court, the other behind the scenes, both determined to return the Lakers to their rightful place atop the NBA. The coming season loomed large on the horizon. Training camp was just weeks away, and speculation about potential roster moves and championship aspirations filled the sports media airwaves. But for Luka Doncic, the focus remained simple and unwavering. Win, he said with a grin when asked what his goal for the upcoming season was. Just win. And with that, the weight of expectation felt just a little lighter, because Luka knew he was ready to carry it. As the preseason tipped off, the energy surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers was unlike anything the NBA had seen in years. The combination of a new ownership group, a revamped front office, and Luka Doncic as the unquestioned face of the franchise created a buzz that spread far beyond Los Angeles. National broadcasts were filled with debates about the Lakers' ceiling. Analysts speculated on whether this version of the team could return to title contention, and ticket demand skyrocketed to historic highs. For Luka, the opening days of training camp were an affirmation of everything he had hoped for when he first arrived in Los Angeles. Gone were the distractions of an unstable front office or questions about organizational direction. What remained was a clear focus: basketball, winning, and legacy. From the moment I stepped into the gym this off-season, I could feel it was different, Luka told reporters. The energy, the professionalism, the commitment, it's all at a championship level now. The coaching staff wasted no time implementing new systems designed to amplify Luka's strengths. The offense was centered around his elite playmaking, with sets that allowed him to operate both on the ball and off it, giving him flexibility to create or finish plays. More importantly, the defense was a primary focus, a known weakness for past Lakers teams. Assistant coaches ran grueling defensive drills, emphasizing communication, rotations, and transition defense. Advanced tracking software installed in the practice facility monitored player movement, reaction times, and defensive coverage efficiency in real time. It's not enough to just outscore teams, head coach Darvin Ham explained. With Luka leading the offense, we know we can put points on the board. But if we're serious about hanging banners, we've got to get stops consistently. Luka embraced the challenge, visibly more engaged on defense during scrimmages and leading by example in conditioning drills. His effort inspired the rest of the team, particularly younger players who saw his commitment and knew they had no excuse to cut corners. Meanwhile, the front office continued to work quietly but aggressively behind the scenes. Mark Walter's influence was starting to reshape the Lakers in ways both subtle and significant. Investments were made into sports science, with new recovery rooms, sleep pods, and biometric monitoring tools installed at the facility. Nutritionists tailored meal plans for every player, and the team partnered with cutting-edge AI companies to predict injury risks based on workload, body movement, and fatigue levels. Walter wasn't just interested in building a great team, he was interested in redefining what it meant to be an elite sports organization in the modern era. "This is bigger than basketball," Walter said in an interview with Forbes. "It's about performance, longevity, and creating an environment where every player has the tools to be their best, on and off the court." Despite the whirlwind of change, Jeanie Buss remained the emotional anchor of the franchise. Her continued presence provided a sense of stability to both the players and the broader Lakers community. Her relationships with former players, from Magic Johnson to Pau Gasol, were leveraged to create mentorship opportunities for the current roster. "Jeanie reminds us where we came from," Luka noted. "She keeps the soul of the Lakers alive." As preseason games began, the world got its first look at the new-look Lakers. Luka dazzled in his debut, putting up 29 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds in just 28 minutes of play. But beyond the numbers, what stood out was the cohesion, the crisp ball movement, the defensive intensity, and the joy with which the team played. Commentators immediately noticed the difference. "This doesn't look like last year's Lakers," said former player Richard Jefferson on a national broadcast. "This looks like a team that knows exactly who they are, and that starts with Luka." LeBron James, now in a mentor role more than ever, was seen celebrating on the sidelines after big plays, coaching up younger players and deferring more of the spotlight to Luka. The passing of the torch wasn't just symbolic, it was happening in real time. "I told Luka from day one, this is your team now," LeBron shared during an interview. "I'm here to support, mentor, and help him succeed." Watching him lead, man, it's special. Off the court, the city of Los Angeles fully embraced the new era. Billboards of Luka smiling under the tagline, "A new era begins," lit up Sunset Boulevard. Lakers legends posted messages of support on social media, welcoming the transition while expressing optimism about the future. Of course, preseason success was only the beginning. The real test would come with the regular season, where the grind of 82 games would reveal whether this reimagined Lakers squad was truly ready to reclaim its place atop the NBA hierarchy. Yet within the locker room, doubt was hard to find. "We're not running from expectations," Luka said after the final preseason game. "We're embracing them. This is the Lakers. This is what we do." The city was ready. The league was watching. And the Luka Doncic era was officially underway. Opening night at Crypto.com Arena wasn't just another game, it was a spectacle. The arena was electric, packed with celebrities, former Lakers legends, and fans dressed head to toe in purple and gold. A giant banner hung outside the stadium reading, "A new chapter begins." On the court, the hardwood gleamed under the lights as the cameras captured every second of anticipation. For Luka Doncic, the weight of the moment wasn't pressure, it was fuel. Standing at center court during player introductions, Luka looked around the arena. The roar of the crowd was deafening. He took a deep breath, smiled, and whispered to himself, "Let's go." The Lakers tipped off their season against their longtime rivals, the Golden State Warriors, a perfect test for a team hoping to prove that the preseason wasn't a fluke. From the opening possession, it was clear, this Lakers squad was different. Luka controlled the pace like a conductor leading an orchestra. His first assist came just seconds into the game, a no-look pass to a cutting Austin Reeves for an easy layup. Moments later, he buried a deep step-back three over Klay Thompson, igniting the crowd. Throughout the night, Luka's fingerprints were all over the game, driving the lane, drawing double teams, and threading impossible passes. By halftime, he had already notched 18 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. But what drew even more praise was his defense. Luka, often criticized earlier in his career for lapses on that end of the floor, was now communicating rotations, fighting through screens, and taking charges. His commitment to both sides of the ball set the tone for the entire roster. The Lakers pulled away in the fourth quarter, ultimately winning by double digits. Luka finished with a near triple-double, 32 points, 12 assists, and 9 rebounds. The crowd chanted his name as he walked off the floor, waving to the fans who had now fully embraced him as their superstar. In the post-game press conference, head coach Darvin Ham was glowing. "That's the leader we believe in. Luka isn't just about stats. He's about impact, on the court, in the locker room, everywhere." The media buzzed for days after the performance. Pundits across networks praised the Lakers' renewed identity. ESPN's headline read, "Luka's Lakers are for real." Analysts who had previously questioned whether Luka could lead a franchise of this magnitude were beginning to change their tune. Off the court, the business side of the Lakers continued booming. Mark Walter's influence was evident. Ticket sales reached record highs, global merchandise sales surged, and international broadcasts of Lakers games saw a spike, especially across Europe, thanks to Luka's global appeal. Walter wasn't content with financial success alone. He worked closely with the Lakers' analytics and medical teams to refine their load management strategies. No longer would the franchise allow star players to burn out midway through the season. Advanced wearables tracked players' biometrics, ensuring optimal rest, hydration, and recovery. "We're investing in longevity," Walter explained during a rare media appearance. "It's not just about winning one championship, it's about sustaining greatness over the next decade." Inside the locker room, the chemistry continued to build. LeBron, now embracing his role as the elder statesman, was often seen laughing with Luka, reviewing plays together on tablets, or encouraging younger players like Max Christie and Jalen Hood-Schifino. Anthony Davis, the team's defensive anchor, looked rejuvenated playing alongside Luka. Freed from constant offensive pressure, Davis focused more on dominating defensively, racking up blocks, steals, and rebounds. The synergy between Luka and Davis became one of the league's deadliest pick-and-roll combinations. Defenses were forced to pick their poison, collapse on Luka's drives, leaving Davis open for lobs, or guard Davis tightly, allowing Luka to step back for his signature threes or find open shooters in the corners. Game after game, the Lakers strung together wins. They started the season 8-2, their best start in nearly a decade. Media narratives shifted from skepticism to admiration. Commentators asked whether this team could be the best Lakers squad since the Kobe and Shaq era. But it wasn't without challenges. A late November road trip tested the team's resilience. Facing back-to-back games against the Celtics and the Bucks, fatigue started to creep in. Minor injuries flared, and the offense sputtered in stretches. They dropped 2 out of 3 games, prompting headlines like, "Reality check for the Lakers?" Luka, however, remained composed. "It's an 82-game season," he told reporters. "Nobody wins them all. The key is learning from these moments." True to his word, Luka responded with one of the best games of his career the following night against the Miami Heat, a 42-point, 15-assist masterpiece that silenced critics and reminded everyone exactly why the Lakers were contenders. Mark Walter, sitting courtside, smiled as he watched Luka orchestrate every play. His gamble, a $10 billion investment in the Lakers, was beginning to look less like a gamble and more like a masterstroke. Jeanie Buss, watching from her usual seat, nodded with pride. The Lakers' legacy was alive, and its future had never looked brighter. As December loomed, one thing was clear. This wasn't just the beginning of another Lakers season. This was the beginning of an era. As the calendar flipped to December, the Lakers were no longer just a team finding its footing. They were officially the hunted. With Luka Doncic leading the charge, opposing teams circled every Lakers game on their schedules. It wasn't just about beating Los Angeles anymore. It was about testing themselves against the NBA's newest powerhouse. National headlines continued to follow the Lakers wherever they went. Phrases like the Luka era, the rebirth of Showtime, and the billion-dollar Lakers dominated sports media. Every move was scrutinized. Every lineup adjustment was debated. And every loss, no matter how minor, became a trending topic. But with greatness came challenges. The Lakers hit a rough patch in mid-December. A string of minor injuries tested the team's depth. Anthony Davis missed a handful of games due to back spasms, and key role players like Jared Vanderbilt and Rui Hachimura were sidelined with nagging sprains. Even Luka, despite his usual durability, was dealing with a sore ankle that limited his minutes for several games. Without their full lineup, cracks started to show. Opponents overloaded defensive schemes on Luka, forcing the ball out of his hands and daring the Lakers bench to beat them. In back-to-back losses against the Denver Nuggets and the Memphis Grizzlies, the offense sputtered and the defense showed signs of fatigue. Pundits were quick to ask, had the Lakers been overhyped? But behind the scenes, panic wasn't part of the equation. Mark Walter met with the front office in a closed-door session, reaffirming his commitment to providing whatever resources were needed, whether that meant trade acquisitions, medical support, or roster flexibility. "We planned for moments like this," Walter told his team. "Adversity doesn't derail champions. It sharpens them." Luka, despite battling soreness, stepped into a leadership role unlike anything he had shouldered before. After a brutal road loss in Milwaukee, he gathered the team in the locker room. No coaches, no executives, just players. "We're not folding," Luka said firmly. "Injuries happen. Fatigue happens. But what we do right now, how we respond, this is what defines who we are." Veterans like LeBron and Davis backed him up, while younger players listened intently. It was no longer a situation where the Lakers were Luka's team in name only. This was the moment it truly became his. On the practice court, adjustments followed. Coach Darvin Ham and his staff designed small ball lineups centered around Luka's playmaking and floor spacing. The team leaned heavily on shooters like Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell to carry more of the scoring load, while Davis focused on defense upon his return. Mark Walter, always thinking long-term, approved the signing of a key free agent, a versatile 3-and-D wing who had recently been bought out from a struggling Eastern Conference team. This move bolstered the Lakers' perimeter defense and gave Luka another reliable outlet on the offensive end. The response was immediate. Returning home to Los Angeles, the Lakers faced the surging Phoenix Suns. In front of a sold-out crowd, Luka delivered one of his most efficient performances yet, 38 points on 70% shooting, 11 assists, and a crucial block in the final 2 minutes that sealed the victory. His post-game comment was short but powerful: "We don't break." Momentum began to swing back. Over the next 6 games, the Lakers rattled off 5 wins, including statement victories over the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. The game against Boston was particularly symbolic. The storied rivalry, the pressure, and the hostile crowd only fueled Luka's fire. In that game, Luka recorded a 45-point triple-double, leading the Lakers back from a 17-point deficit in the fourth quarter. The final dagger, a step-back 3 over Jason Tatum with 14 seconds left, instantly became one of the most replayed highlights of the season. After the buzzer sounded, Luka walked to center court, pounding his chest as the Lakers bench erupted. It wasn't just a win. It was a declaration. "You could feel it," ESPN analyst Kendrick Perkins said. "This ain't just Luka joining the Lakers. He is the Lakers now." Off the court, the city of Los Angeles responded in kind. A massive new mural was unveiled downtown, Luka holding a basketball in one hand, the Los Angeles skyline in the other, with the words "Built for this" in bold underneath. Jeanie Buss, witnessing this evolution, was emotional. "I've seen this franchise go through every high and every low. But watching Luka embrace the responsibility, the culture, the city, it's everything my father envisioned for this team." Meanwhile, Mark Walter continued refining the business and operational sides of the organization. He launched an initiative to expand the Lakers' footprint globally: more youth camps in Europe, Africa, and Asia, partnerships with international leagues, and a media expansion strategy that made Lakers content available in multiple languages worldwide. The Lakers weren't just winning games. They were becoming a global empire. As the year drew to a close, Luka found himself leading the MVP race. His averages were staggering: 31.4 points, 9.6 assists, and 8.7 rebounds per game. More importantly, the Lakers sat at second in the Western Conference standings, despite the adversity they had faced. In a late December interview, Luka reflected on the journey so far. "It's never easy. It's never supposed to be easy. But we're building something real here, for the fans, for the city, and for everyone who believes in this team." And as fireworks exploded over the Los Angeles skyline to welcome the new year, one truth echoed through the city and the league alike. The Lakers were back. And they were just getting started. As January arrived, the stakes for the Los Angeles Lakers had never been higher. The early season bumps had transformed into momentum, but now came the true test: sustaining excellence through the grind of the NBA season. With Luka Doncic playing the best basketball of his career, the Lakers weren't just a threat, they were a juggernaut. But within the organization, the message was clear: regular season wins were great, but banners weren't raised for that. The goal was a championship, nothing less. Mark Walter, ever the visionary, pushed the front office to stay aggressive. He met regularly with general manager Rob Pelinka and the analytics team, reviewing player performance metrics and identifying roster gaps. One priority became clear: while the Lakers' offense was elite, their interior depth was a concern whenever Anthony Davis missed time. In response, the front office worked tirelessly behind the scenes, exploring trade options ahead of the deadline. Rumors swirled around the league. The Lakers were linked to several defensive-minded big men and veteran wings who could bolster their playoff rotation. "Mark is relentless," one front office insider told The Athletic. "It's not just about spending money, it's about doing everything necessary to maximize this window with Luka." On the court, Luka continued to redefine what superstardom looked like. His basketball IQ was unmatched, and his chemistry with the team had reached an elite level. The pick and roll with Anthony Davis was nearly unguardable. Shooters like Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, and the newly signed defensive wing thrived off Luka's precision passing. But it wasn't just his offense that turned heads. Luka's defensive effort, once considered the weakest part of his game, had transformed. No, he wasn't a lockdown defender, but his rotations were crisp, his effort constant, and his communication on defense had become a key part of the Lakers' success. "We're holding each other accountable," Luka told the media after a gritty win over the Timberwolves. "That's what championship teams do." A major turning point came in mid-January, a showdown against the defending champion Denver Nuggets, who had knocked the Lakers out of the playoffs the year before. It was billed as a measuring stick game, and it lived up to the hype. Nikola Jokic, Denver's superstar, put on a masterclass of his own, but it was Luka who stole the spotlight. Late in the fourth quarter, with the game tied, Luka orchestrated a flawless possession, a step-back three over Aaron Gordon that splashed through the net, followed by a steal and an alley-oop to Davis on the next play. The arena exploded. Luka finished with 37 points, 12 assists and 10 rebounds, his 11th triple-double of the season. More importantly, the win sent a message. The Lakers were no longer looking up at anyone. The MVP buzz around Luka reached a fever pitch. National media debated whether anyone else even belonged in the conversation. His stats were historic, but it was his leadership that stood out most. LeBron, asked about Luka's impact, simply said, "I've played with greatness my whole career. D-Wade, Kyrie, AD. Luka's right there with any of them. And the scary part? He's still getting better." Off the court, Mark Walter continued pushing boundaries. He finalized a partnership with a European tech firm that specialized in advanced biomechanical analysis, giving the Lakers yet another edge in player health and performance optimization. No expense was spared, from travel arrangements designed to minimize fatigue to personalized recovery programs for every player. The results showed. Unlike past seasons, the Lakers stayed relatively healthy. Minor injuries didn't snowball into major absences. The locker room was energized, the vibes were immaculate, and the bond between players was undeniable. Jeanie Buss, reflecting on the transformation, told Sports Illustrated, "When we sold part of the team, some people questioned it. But watching what Mark, Luka, and this organization have built, it's everything we hoped for. The Lakers are in the best hands." Meanwhile, the fanbase reached a fever pitch. Every home game sold out. Social media was flooded with highlight reels of Luka's no-look passes, step-back threes, and clutch moments. International broadcasts reported record viewership, especially in Europe, where Luka was treated like royalty. But despite the glamour, the message inside the locker room remained grounded, eyes on the prize. In a candid moment captured by documentary cameras, Luka addressed his teammates before a key game against the Clippers. "I came here for banners," he said. "That's it. We respect everyone, but we fear no one. Every game, every quarter, every possession, that's how you win titles." That mindset carried them through one of the toughest stretches of the season. An East Coast road trip with games against the Bucks, 76ers, and Cavaliers. The Lakers went 3-0 with Luka averaging 34 points and 10 assists during the stretch. By February, the Lakers were sitting at the top of the Western Conference standings. The MVP race was all but locked in Luka's favor. And the All-Star Game loomed, an event where Luka would not only be selected as a starter but also named the team captain, earning the most fan votes of any player in the NBA. As the trade deadline approached, whispers grew louder. Would the Lakers make one final move to solidify their status as title favorites? The answer was coming. But one thing was already certain. Luka Doncic had not just joined the Lakers, he had transformed them. The NBA trade deadline arrived and the Lakers front office wasted no time. In a bold but calculated move, Los Angeles finalized a deal to acquire a veteran defensive big man and a sharpshooting wing from the Chicago Bulls. The message was clear. The Lakers were all in. The final roster felt complete. Depth, shooting, defense, and, at the center of it all, Luka Doncic, the undisputed leader of the team, the face of the franchise, and now the most captivating player in basketball. As All-Star Weekend approached, Luka's dominance was undeniable. Voted captain of the Western Conference with the highest vote total in the league, Luka stepped onto the stage surrounded by global icons. The All-Star game itself was a showcase of his brilliance. He dazzled with behind-the-back passes, half-court lobs, and his signature step-back threes. His combination of showmanship and competitiveness captivated fans worldwide. After securing the All-Star MVP with a 44-point, 15-assist masterpiece, Luka stood on the podium holding the trophy, the crowd chanting, MVP. MVP. But his speech was simple. It's great, but the real MVP is waiting in June. The Lakers returned from the break with a singular focus: the playoffs. Every player understood the mission. Practices were more intense. Film sessions became meticulous. Mark Walter doubled down, bringing in championship consultants, including former Lakers legends, to speak with the team about the mindset needed for a title run. LeBron, now fully embracing his mentor role, became the glue of the locker room. His relationship with Luka was deeper than anyone expected. Part big brother, part advisor, part hype man. "I told him," LeBron said, "you're built for this. You were born for this." March brought another test, a brutal stretch of games against the league's top defenses. But the Lakers thrived. Luka averaged 35 points, 9 assists and 8 rebounds during the month, delivering game winners against the Heat and the Warriors. The NBA community stopped debating whether Luka deserved the MVP. The conversation shifted to whether this was one of the greatest single seasons in modern NBA history. By April, with the playoffs looming, the Lakers officially clinched the #1 seed in the Western Conference, their first since the Kobe Bryant era. The regular season concluded with Luka posting historic numbers. Heavy checkmark 32.1 points per game. Heavy checkmark 10.4 assists per game, league leader. Heavy checkmark 8.9 rebounds per game. Heavy checkmark 62 double-doubles and 21 triple-doubles. More importantly, the Lakers finished with 61 wins, their highest total since the early 2000s. At the NBA awards ceremony, it became official. Luka Doncic was crowned 2025 NBA Most Valuable Player. As he stepped onto the stage, the crowd rose in a standing ovation. In his speech, Luka turned toward the Lakers logo behind him and said, "This organization believed in me. The city believed in me. But this is just the beginning. I'm not here to win MVPs. I'm here to win banners." The playoffs began with the Lakers steamrolling through the first round, dispatching the 8-seeded New Orleans Pelicans in 5 games. Luka was surgical, averaging 30 points and 12 assists while managing to sit entire fourth quarters because of massive leads. In the conference semifinals, they faced the Phoenix Suns, a star-studded team featuring Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. The series was brutal, physical, and emotionally charged. After falling behind 2-1, questions swirled. Was the dream run unraveling? Luka responded with a 48-point, 14-assist explosion in Game 4 on the road, silencing the Phoenix crowd. He followed it up with back-to-back triple-doubles in Games 5 and 6, sending the Suns home. The Western Conference Finals brought a rematch with the defending champions, the Denver Nuggets. The media hyped it as the clash of the two best players on the planet, Luka Doncic versus Nikola Jokic. The series lived up to the billing. Game 1 went to overtime. Luka hit a game-winning floater as time expired. Game 2 was a slugfest, with Jokic dominating inside, but Luka responded with 42 points and 17 assists in a Lakers win. Denver rallied to force a Game 6, but in front of a raucous home crowd at Crypto.com Arena, Luka delivered what is now considered one of the greatest performances in franchise history. 54 points, 12 assists, 11 rebounds, and a game-sealing steal in the final minute. The Lakers were Western Conference champions. The crowd chanted, "We want Boston." And the basketball gods delivered. The NBA Finals, Los Angeles Lakers versus Boston Celtics. The 13th time in history these two titans clashed for the championship. The series was a war. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown threw everything at the Lakers. Boston's defense was suffocating. Their size, their shooting, elite. But Luka was a force of nature. He controlled the pace, hit clutch shots, and elevated everyone around him. Game 7. Back in Los Angeles. The score was tied with 40 seconds left. Luka dribbled at the top of the key, guarded by Tatum. The arena held its breath. Crossover. Step back. Three-pointer. Splash. The crowd erupted. Boston called timeout. On the next possession, Luka stole the inbound pass, sprinted down the court, and lobbed it to Anthony Davis for a thunderous dunk that sealed the game. Confetti rained from the rafters. The Lakers were NBA champions. Luka collapsed to the floor, overwhelmed. LeBron hugged him tightly. Davis pointed to the sky. Jeanie Buss wiped away tears. Mark Walters stood near center court, watching his $10 billion investment become a basketball dynasty before his eyes. During the trophy ceremony, as the Larry O'Brien Trophy was handed to Luka Doncic, the Finals MVP, the crowd chanted louder than ever, "MVP! MVP!" Luka held the trophy high and shouted, "This is for LA. This is for every fan. This is just the beginning." The dynasty had been born.